Well, hello, everybody. It's once again time for the Dryline Farmer presents the Short Bus Episodes. That's right. The Short Bus Episodes is a new installment of the Dryline Farmer podcast where we offer you 5 to 10 minute episodes of our best, our shortest, and our least thought out bits that we can think of. The Short Bus Episodes are something that, let's be honest, we're lazier because if we can do something in 5 to 10 minutes, whereas it usually takes us 30 or 40 minutes, why not do it in a shorter amount of time? Because, hey, less work for us, right? We hope you enjoy this new installment of the Short Bus Episodes, brought to you by the Dryline Farmer Podcast. Yes, that's right, Brent. As I talk to myself in the third person, this is another installment of the Short Bus series, the Short Bus Episodes, brought to you by the Dryland Farmer Podcast. Now, we'll get it right into it. We know, we're all farmers here. A lot of us are farmers, and we're all in the tractor a lot. We're in the pickup a lot around checking stuff, going around checking wells, checking sprinklers, being in the tractor, planting, spraying, harvesting, everything. And if I know farmers like I think I know us, we listen to a lot of talk radio. And, of course, there's one guy out there that's real famous, and he's got this financial show, and he's been on for years, and he doesn't want you to get any debt. And obviously, he's never farmed before because I don't know if you can save up very long to buy, $300,000 tractor or whatever they are. So he's gotten real famous over the last few years. Well, we ran across this short-lived radio show, and it was also a financial show, and I believe it's called the Danny Dollar Show. And the Danny Dollar Show was real short-lived. He didn't make it too long, but we found this lost footage. Once again, we're kind of getting into these found footage things, and it's a real interesting phone call that this person called in. Well, I'll let you listen to it. Here we go. It's the Danny Dollar Show on the Dryline Farmer Podcast Short Bus Episode.
The Danny Dollar Show is brought to you by Johnson Slingers. We'll let you figure out what the product is. Just visit our website, www.wang.net. 27 minutes after the top of the hour, this is the Danny Dollar Show. We're going to go straight to your phone calls because we only have 2 minutes to the bottom of the hour news update. Why do talk show people do that? When they have a guest on for 24 minutes, go to a 5-minute commercial and then come back and tell a caller they've got to get going because they've only got 30 seconds to the bottom of the hour where they got a hard break. But we've got JY on the line. She wants to stay anonymous. She's got quite the financial problems going on. Janet, I'm sorry, JY? JY, can you hear us? Go ahead. JY?
Yes.
Yes, JY, you're on the air.
Yes, I've got,
first, go ahead and tell me what you got, debt, all otherwise.
It's like, okay, well, first of all, I've got $30 trillion in debt.
My goodness, I'd say that's a record for this podcast here. Go ahead. So you got 30 trillion in debt. I like to write this down on my yellow legal pad here. So you got 30 trillion in debt.
Yes, and I've got over $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities.
My goodness, that's quite the credit. Now, how many credit cards do you have on this?
Well, I'm going to say there's about 10 credit cards that they're not quite maxed out. One of them's a gold card and one of them's the black platinum card.
Those are quite and are you paying the,
yes, we're paying the minimum payments on it, interest only. And,
okay. And, now I'm hoping you've got a sizable income, going into this, to these accounts.
Well, yes and no.
Okay. What's your main source of income?
Well, I like to take money's people. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just so nervous.
Oh, you're doing fine. Just go right ahead.
Okay, so I take like the people that make the most money in my corporation, I take almost 50% of their money. It's only 1% of them. But it's fun because all the other people, the bottom, 50% don't hardly pay anything. So they get but yet they don't know that the top 1% pays most of it, so they all get mad. And
then that doesn't sound for a very good cohesive corporation there, does it?
Well, it's you would think so, but let me just get to more of it. Yes, go ahead. You're running out of time anyway. So 30 trillion in debt. You've got 100 trillion in unfunded liabilities, and your income is you take money from people. They agreed to this though, right? Well, yeah. I mean, they have to, otherwise, I'll come put them in jail or something. So, but I mean, it's like I don't want to call it a law, but it's kind of like the contract they signed or whatever. Okay, yeah. So I understand they've got a contract they signed when they signed on to the job, right? Yes, that's sorry. Sometimes I sound like a man. Okay, so now what are y'all doing down over there at that corporation now? Is this your own corporation or is this, well, I go into my personal accounts through it. I've got a checking account at the Bank of America down the street, and then I'm in a credit union. So now we like credit unions here on the Danny Dollar Show. And that's one of the, so anyway, so you've got all this debt you're taking in. So you've got 30 trillion and that's short-term debt, correct? Yes. Now, what are you taking in every year? Oh, I take in like $12 trillion a year, but I'm borrowing like I use a whole lot more than that because, we've got lots of I've got a few car payments and everything. I call it like a cash for clunker deal where I go out and buy everybody's crappy cars, like they're smoky and stuff. Okay, and you I guess you deal those out for parts and you get money on that. No, we just sit on them. Okay, yeah, probably would part those out. So now, what are you doing now your income is your most valuable asset, correct? Yeah, I mean, our borrowing capacity really is what really gets us over the top. Well, we want to get you out of debt. So, Joe, I'm sorry, I keep calling you by your name. It's JY. Now, what have you started to do to get out of this, out from underneath this behemoth of a debt load you've got? Well, I started delivering pizzas on the weekend, and I do that as a double time through my Uber job. And okay, that brings in about $150 every weekend, if the tips are good. And everybody's getting these new benefits, and they're really getting really generous with it. Sometimes I'll get a $10 tip, and I put that in the piggy bank, in the piggy reserve. Piggy bank. Yeah, I said it right the first time. And then the Uber deal, they only take like 1%, and so I put it in. Now I have to eat and I have to keep the lights on, so I make probably $200 a week on my Uber job, and so I take out $150 for rent, and I take out $25 for food, and then the rest goes to clothes. So that's really kind of a wash. So the Uber thing doesn't really make any money. But I also sold, just last week, I sold my shot glass collection, and I got a really handsome. I did really well. Oh, okay. Tell me how much did you make on your shot glasses? I'm writing all this down so I can see if I can balance this. Okay, yeah, I made $75 a glass. Well, that's those are quite collector items. And it's like, yeah. And how many glasses did you have? I had 10, so it was quite a red letter day. So $750. Okay, so you're making $750, but the one was it $250 from the Uber? That's a wash, so that's a zero. You're making $150 on pizza on the weekends. So, that's a good start. Let's see, what else? Do you have anything else going on? Is there anything else you can sell? Well, yes, actually, as a matter of fact, we're having a yard sale out next week. Now, I got a couple neighbors in, so I had to charge them a little commission because they wanted to sell their stuff too. And, yeah. So, what are you expecting to make off of that yard sale next week? I'm thinking I can, if I really negotiate really well, I can do like $75 to $100 in the first hour, and then maybe like the wholesale I could do like, I don't know, maybe I could clear $400 or $500 if I can get Joe to get rid of his golf clubs, and he really hates them. But if I can get like $200 or $300 for him, of course Joe doesn't ever remember where they are, so that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, and and also at the church next week we're gonna have a bake sale. And it's going to try, and fortunately, we don't take any of their money off the top because we like to call them exempt from taking, we don't make them pay anything, but they're going to contribute like 50% of the proceeds from all the bake sale. Oh, okay. Let's see. Now, what are you expecting to make off of that? I think if Lou Ann brings her pumpernickel muffins, and if Cheryl Lou brings her banana bread, oh my goodness. it's going to put us over the top. It's going to put us over the top, Danny. And before I go any further, I just want to say I love your Danny Dollar radio show. We listen to it every weekend while we're in our Uber cars. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's see now. And you said you're going to make how much from that bake sale? Well, let's see. Now, if like I said, if they bring the pumpernickel and the banana bread, maybe I can get Mama to bring out some of those. Well, she says they're homemade, but they're really store-bought. She brings some store-bought cupcakes, and they sell out like within the first hour or something. And okay, how much? She brings 2 dozens. Okay, and you're going to sell them for how much? Well, they cost us $15, and I think if I can mark them up to $17.50, I think we can really get them out of the door really quick. Okay, so if I add all this up, I'm putting you at like maybe $2,000 you can put towards this $30 trillion in debt. That's kind of what I was thinking, Danny. Maybe if we can do like a walkathon or something, we might be able to pick up another $1,500, $2,000. I've got gout in my left leg and down to my foot, so it's kind of hard for me to walk, but I can kind of go like door to door and pick up lots of, maybe I can get some donations, maybe some commitments for people to walk the walkathon. And maybe we can, I don't know, cure cancer or something. That might bring in another $1,000. We could really put a dent in this thing. Okay, Janet, I'm sorry. Would y'all just take her name off the screen, please? So, Janet, I'm not really sure how you're going to get from underneath this. You got $30 trillion in short-term debt. You've got $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities. You take in $10 trillion to $12 trillion a year. And with the bake sale, selling your shot glasses, cupcakes, the pumpernickel, and maybe the banana bread, you're thinking you can knock it down, and maybe I'm thinking another 5,000. Yeah, that's kind of what we were figuring down here. That's of course if we don't buy like the big check to present to the bank, and that's going to cost us like $100, so that'll knock us down like to like 1,900 or to like 4,900 or whatever. Well, my advice to you would be to oh, sorry, I had to breathe. This kind of making me sweat here. This debt load you've got. Yeah, I'm thinking if you really lay off doing the big check and just take a regular paper check, that should really put you over the top. So you got $30 trillion in debt. I'm figuring your interest is like, I'm hoping you're getting a good interest rate. It's on $30 trillion, so that's like maybe you're getting 2 or 3% rate. You're paying that interest only. So my calculator unfortunately doesn't go that many zeros across. So I'm gonna say your debt load is maybe $700-800 billion a year. So it's gonna be hard. We can't get it all on this. I'm sorry. We're at the end of a hard break. We've got to get to the end of the hour, to the bottom of the hour news break. This is the Danny Dollar Show. We'll be right back. We've got somebody on the line from overseas, and they say they've got somebody that owes them $2 trillion. Well, that ought to be an interesting episode, guys. This is the Danny Dollar Show. Coming up, it's your bottom of the hour news break with Justin from KRLA in New Brunswick, Canada. This is the Danny Dollar Show.